you should know that by being a racing driver, you are under risk all the time. By being a racing driver means you are racing with other people. And if you no longer go for a gap that exists, you're no longer a racing driver. Because we are competing to win. And the main motivation to all of us is to compete for a victory.
McLaren still had the reigning world champion, Alain Prost. One-time world champion Keke Rosberg had left Williams to join them, but whether he had timed his move well was in doubt. Because Williams had started doing well again towards the end of the previous year, with Nigel Mansell acquiring a taste for winning. Ex-world champion Nelson Piquet, with no taste for losing, had left Brabham in order to get a car he could rely on, and he also would now be in a tearing hurry. Back in England, recovering from a frightful car crash, Frank Williams would have to watch his two drivers fight it out on television. At Lotus, drama had already begun between seasons. Brazil's hot shoe hard man, Ayrton Senna, had ungenerously said that the team couldn't support two stars, so Derek Warwick, who was almost hired, was unhired. Johnny Dumfries was brought in as a slave. With second-best service guaranteed, he was on a hiding to nothing. But British aristos are made of steely stuff.
Lap 58 out of 72, and you look down at the battle for the lead between, on the left, Nigel Mansell, Williams. Is he on his way to his third Grand Prix win? Second, in the middle, Ayrton Senna in the Lotus. Third, in the red and white McLaren, world champion Alain Prost. And this is what the race is all about now. There's been an enormous number of retirements. Dumfries, Lafitte, Brundle, Alboreto, Arnoux, Piquet, Streff, Danner, Johansson, Patrese, Jonathan Palmer and Alan Jones. But the race hasn't lost excitement and interest for 1 second. Senna is now really harrying Nigel Mansell. Two of the most determined drivers in Grand Prix racing, and Senna showing his front wheels to Mansell, and Mansell won't let him through if he can avoid it. Prost is gaining.
I'll give him more than 3 or 4 more laps, because he's got to start doing something about making a move himself, as he's running out of that. But I expect he'd like to see them sort themselves out first.
Senna going for it. He'll never get past on the outside, and he knocks up his tyres. Nigel, I'm surprised at Senna doing that. It's all right to go for it, but he's had to lock up his tyres. It's not inconceivable that he might have flat-spotted them, which would throw the back. Matteo Fabi and Berger, and there is Senna trying again, and onto the grass goes Senna. Out of the pit comes Rosberg.
Well, amazing they survived that. I'm afraid the director switched off at the worst possible moment. We lost the picture, but both cars in it, so battle really is taking place, and Prost, I think, is wisely just sitting off this a little, giving himself enough room to take evasive action in case they do tangle, because Mansell really shut the door hard then, and Senna had to take to the grass to avoid it, but they both emerged. Tremendous stuff. This is really hard racing.
So they could both go off and let Prost through into the lead, and again Senna tries, again Mansell will have nothing of it. This is lap 61. Something's got to give. There's still 12 laps to go, 11 laps to go.
Great coming up past the pit, but we do that a few too many times. Senna climbing all over the back. He's having a look, and he's inside Mansell. And he certainly was going for the opportunity there. Of course, Prost is lurking, ready to pick up the pieces of any indiscretion or mistake.
Mansell is grimly enjoying this, because this time, being in the lead, he's got the whip hand, and Senna is through! Senna is through, and Prost is through! Incredible! As I say that, in the twinkling of an eye, Nigel Mansell goes from first to third. Senna is back in the lead, and can Prost catch him?
Yes, and still unfortunate for Mansell, but that's the price you pay, because Senna squeezed him and he fought for that position. There he is, and he didn't give way, but that lost him momentum out of the corner because he had to back off, and that, of course, carried Prost through. Had Nigel admitted the corner before, and Mansell's in the pit.
This is it. Mansell has decided that he'd been hanging on tired rubber. Now that he's lost the place, he's got fresh tyres on again. Between Senna and Mansell, which I remind you was 8.7 seconds. There is Senna across the line, and Mansell and Prost come out of the hairpin absolutely together, and Mansell is going through to take second place. No, he's not. Now on the inside. 6.23 seconds is the gap between Senna and Mansell.
Well, of course, with so much more grip than Prost and, of course, Senna when it comes to it, Mansell really shouldn't find overtaking nearly as big a problem as it has been in the past. But he missed getting past Prost as they started the lap going into turn one, and he's now got to wait, and this is valuable lost time for him.
3 laps to go at the end of this one. 3 laps each of 2.6 miles, 4.2 kilometres, and this is Mansell's chance as Senna exits from turn 15. 6.2 seconds was the gap between Senna and Mansell, and Mansell's through, I can tell you that. There he is. Mansell is second. Nigel Mansell coming out of turn 13, now turn 14. Up to turn 15 and 16, and then into the pit straight. I've started the stopwatch on Ayrton Senna. The gap between Senna and Mansell was 6.2 seconds. The gap is now a whisker over that, because Mansell and Prost were slowing each other up. But now Mansell will know that only Senna is between him and his third Grand Prix win. So he's clear. Is Mansell going to get past as easily? Here is Senna, starting lap 72, the last lap of the Spanish Grand Prix, and Mansell is now 1.57 seconds behind him.
He's going to catch him soon, so there's going to be a right scramble all the way around the last lap. Another 3 or 4 corners. Senna with the big advantage of being in front, but Mansell with the advantage of fresh tyres and a considerably greater degree of grip.
So into the last stages of the Spanish Grand Prix, they're coming down to the S's now, which is about halfway round the last lap, and very shortly, as Senna runs a bit wide and goes up onto the curbing, Mansell is going to be on the rear wing of the black and gold Lotus with its Renault engine, and he is. Now, this is the 140 mile an hour turn 10 into turn 11, and Mansell could conceivably take Senna coming out of the hairpin on the final approach to the last straight of the Spanish Grand Prix. It's all going to depend on the exit from turns 14 and 15, which they're approaching now. Then into turn 16, the hairpin. It's going to be one of the closest Grand Prix finishes, whatever happens, that we've seen for a long, long time. They're coming up to the hairpin now. This is it. Down into second gear, and Mansell, if he gets it right, can sprint out of the rear wing of Senna's car. Senna moves across. He's keeping Mansell back, and he wins. Mansell won't like that any more than he liked at Brazil, but there is no doubt about the fact that Senna was taking advantage of the fact that he's got a clear circuit in front of him to keep Mansell back, and Ayrton Senna has won his third Grand Prix in the Lotus here at Spain today by, what, a car's length or even less from Nigel Mansell. A brilliant drive.
I saw him coming very quick, and I realized he had stopped and had new tires, and I had no tires at all, and so I had to really push with no grip. I had to really play around and slide around to try to keep some good speed, and then was very dangerous. I nearly lost the car, maybe 2 laps from the end in one corner. The car went sideways, sideways, sideways. I thought I lost, and then it came back.
Mansell in defeat was generous to Senna.
No, I mean, when you are leading the race, you are entitled to try and hold the next person up. I think he drove very, very well today, and he didn't shut the door on me. And as you could see at the finishing line, I was right alongside, and I think it was so close. I think they should give us 7.5 points each.
And it's 78 laps to go, and it's go. Good start by Prost. Senna going through on the inside, now into Santovot. Watch the back of your picture to see that they all get through safely. They're okay so far. It looks as though we're not going to have a repeat of the last years, thank heavens. And it's Prost leading. Senna is in second position. Mansell is in third place. Alboreto is in fourth place. And they stream round Massenet into the Casino Square. Now they're dropping down the hill, and that was a good visually. This is lap 27. That is the race leader, Alain Prost, and he's coming past us very shortly. The gap, Alain Prost is leading now by some 9 seconds as he goes down to La Rascasse. There is Ayrton Senna in second position, and Keke Rosberg is charging very hard indeed. Start the stopwatch on Ayrton Senna. Rosberg is now 2.7 seconds behind Senna. There, number 12. Mansell is down to 4 into the pits. Prost is into the pits. There he is. Now, he was leading by 16 seconds. I am watching for Ayrton Senna. That's a super stop. That's about 9 seconds. And as Prost exits, there is Senna. Senna is going past as Prost exits the pits. It's anybody's guess, and I wish they'd show us some pictures about who is going to be leading at the end of this lap. Are on their way, and there is Senna. There is Prost, so Senna leads. Now, on lap 36, Ayrton Senna, the Brazilian in the Lotus with the Renault engine, is in the lead, and there is Alain Prost. You can see the gap for yourselves, but don't forget that Prost is on new rubber, and Senna is... Of course, Ayrton Senna will have... I don't know that Ayrton Senna will have to come in. He started this race with 2 Bs at the back. I'm sorry to be so technical about the tyres, but it really is crucial to what's happening in this race. Ayrton Senna started with C compound tyres on the front and B compound, which are harder, on the rear. So it is by no means inconceivable that Ayrton Senna could go through the whole race without changing tyres. Well, there he goes. Now, where is Prost? There he is. This lap is keeping ahead of Senna, who's now, of course, as you can well see for yourselves, got Prost right behind him. First and second. Martin Brundle exiting the picture. Now, Prost could attack as they approach and then exit the tunnel as they come down to the chicane. Prost on the new heated, now thoroughly heated rubber. Looks as though he's going to try and go through on braking for the chicane. It is possible to get through there. Very difficult, but possible. But Senna saved him off. Now accelerate away, and this is Prost's chance. He can, if he gets close enough, take Senna on the approach to Sanderbox. He's going to try and go around on the outside, but Senna moves across, takes his racing line and keeps ahead.
Yes, Prost being very careful, very sensibly careful, because he's well in charge of the situation. He knows that Senna can't hold him off forever, but he's not going to take any risks. Senna's a hard man. We've seen him make life very difficult for overtaking drivers. There he is, taking the inside line, fencing Prost off, giving him no chance of attacking him on the winning line into the corner. So Senna stated his intentions. He's going to play a blocking game, but he can't block him forever.
He's visibly having a bit of tyre trouble as his car moves about on the course, and Prost is harrying him all the time.
Prost should be able to get more traction out of the Rascasse as they go onto the pit straight. Senna's coming in. So Senna has blocked it. He realises that he can't maintain the situation forever, and this puts Prost really in command of the race. Prost is now in what will be a very comfortable lead.
Fastest this morning in the final half hour of practice on full tanks. Winner in 85, winner in 84. Rounds La Rascasse for the last time. Watch the McLaren mechanics as he rounds the last corner, and they go berserk with pleasure. And Alain Prost has won the 1986 Monaco Grand Prix in a canter. Rosberg will be second. Ayrton Senna third.
Senna once again went all out for the pole. Mansell did his best not to let the Brazilian get a swelled head, but when Senna's time was signalled to Prost, he couldn't believe it. But even Senna found the circuit a bit of a sweat.
I think Detroit is not the best circuit because it's too bumpy and you run between the walls. It's good to be on pole here, but the race is going to be very hard, tough, long race, and I hope we can have a good fight, a clear fight, and a good show for all the public.
You hit ons, know it's game time. And you know me and my bros on the same time. No brakes, green light. No brakes, I got the green light. When you hit ons, know it's game time. And you know me and my bros on the same time. No brakes, green light. No brakes, I got the green. We gon' tear it down, tear it down, tear it down, yeah. We ain't going out, we ain't going into town, no. Money ain't the mission, no, we coming for the crown, yeah. Yeah, we coming for the crown. If we going out, then we going out loud, eh. Putting on the show, young man, take a bow, eh. Even under pressure, they ain't never had doubt. But if we gon' do it, gotta do it right now. But if we gon' do it, gotta do it right now. When you hit ons, know it's game time. And you know me and my bros on the same time. No brakes, green light. No brakes, I got the green light. When you hit ons, know it's game time. And you know me and my bros on the same time. No brakes, green light. No brakes, I got the green light. We gon' tear it down, tear it down, tear it down, yeah. We ain't going out, we ain't going into town, no. Money ain't the mission, no, we coming for the crown, yeah. Yeah, we coming for the crown. If we going out, then we going out loud, eh. Putting on the show, young man, take a bow, eh. Even under pressure, they ain't never had doubt. But if we gon' do it, gotta do it right now. When you hit ons, know it's game time.
Anyway, second place is not bad, but I think now for the championship will be very difficult. But I'm very pleased for Nigel. I think he really deserved it this year.
That means that you concede the World Championship, yes?
I mean, I will fight until the end. But I must admit that to be realistic, I think Nigel is world champion today, but it's not finished yet.
The story so far, now what's the last chapter going to hold in Adelaide? There's Nelson Piquet, who's alongside Nigel Mansell on the front row of the grid in Adelaide. Mansell is on pole, and that world title beckons.
And the news from Adelaide is that the weather conditions, which were very good yesterday, are not so good today. And I now welcome viewers in Britain to the BBC coverage of this Australian Grand Prix, which, as I say, is going to be the one that will decide the World Championship, the most important race of the year. Nelson Piquet and Mansell together. And it's go, and a superb start from Nigel Mansell. Senna goes through to second place ahead of Piquet. The two McLarens slot in behind them into the chicane. Is anybody going to go off this year? It looks to me as though they're bunching up well and getting through. No problems at the chicane, and Senna is challenging for the start, and he goes through and he takes the lead. Senna takes the lead on the right-hander at Wakefield Turn. Now up to East Terrace Bend, the left-hand hander. It's Senna, Mansell, Piquet, and the McLaren going through ahead of the Williams and coming towards us. It is Ayrton Senna in the lead. It is Piquet second. It is Rosberg in third position. Mansell is down to fourth position. Well, there's a turn up for the book, because Nigel Mansell has lost his lead and Gerhard Berger is well up. And look at the way that the first three are breaking away. Senna, the Williams and the McLaren absolutely together, and Piquet going through and trying to take Senna. One Brazilian passes another, and we've got a third leader before even one lap has been completed. And it is Piquet, Senna, Rosberg, Mansell, and then Prost. And improves his chances of catching Nelson Piquet. Mansell still in fourth position. Arnoux moves over. Prost goes through. The gap you can see between Nelson Piquet in second place and Alain Prost in third position. Still with Mansell fourth. Still with Senna fifth. Still now with Johansson in sixth position. So the Ferraris are going much better.
is still fifth. Stefan Johansson again in the points in the Ferrari, unlike his teammate Michele Alboreto. And Johansson has been fired. What a travesty of justice. In seventh position, Philippe Strim. Eighth, Riccardo Patrese. Ninth, Gerhard Berger. And off speeds Piquet. Wowee! Now, Piquet goes off. Prost goes through. Now we have the two McLarens, first and second. Rosberg leads and Prost is second. This could change the race.
And Mansell went through, so that's...
Passed by Nigel Mansell, and Prost is into the pits. Alain Prost on lap 33 is into the pits for his expected tyre change at about the right time. And this is a bad change by modern standards. Over 17 seconds, Alain Prost. And that is not good. That could be critical. I know we say that's not a good stop. Over 17 seconds to change all four tyres and wheels. That's bad. And in fact, it's incredible. But by Grand Prix standards, it is not good enough because the Williams team have done it in under 7 seconds. Nevertheless, Alain Prost, that you look at now, on new boots, has rejoined the Australian Grand Prix on lap 33 out of 82 in fourth position.
Of overtaking, but he's now right on his tail. This is the closest he's been. So this is where Mansell's got to keep really cool, because it's more important to be smooth than to be fast at this stage, because a mistake, getting a corner wrong, of course, will allow, if he's a bit slow out of a corner, that gives Prost the chance to swoop past, so he just wants to be smooth.
Rosberg out! Keke Rosberg is out of the Australian Grand Prix. If this isn't a sensation, I would like to know what is. The man who won last year has retired in the lead. He must be bitterly disappointed, and now the World Championship is indeed wide open. There's the reason. Look at the flapping right rear Goodyear on Keke Rosberg's McLaren. A smashed tyre, and out of the race goes the Finn.
And that means that Nigel Mansell only has to finish now to be world champion. That has just about... And as we were watching that, Prost has got past Mansell there. You just saw him going around the hairpin in the background. There is Nelson Piquet. So Piquet leads the race, but third place is good enough for Mansell. Mansell can now afford to slow right down and just finish. He is miles ahead of Stefan Johansson, who's in fourth place.
Just as Niki Lauda did last year in the McLaren. What bitter, bitter disappointment for him. He may have been prepared to move over. And look at that! And colossally, that's Mansell! That is Nigel Mansell, and the car absolutely shattered. He's fighting for control, but you can see what's happened. Mansell is out of the race. Now, this could change and will change the World Championship.
What an absolute tragedy for Mansell. Obviously, the tyres went at almost the same time as Keke Rosberg, so there's a wear problem. Piquet must be made aware of that by radio.
A World Championship and race-winning situation, and would score 72 points, and into the pits goes the Williams.
And I would have been more surprised if his team didn't call him in, because they will have seen on a TV monitor that two people have lost these tyres. Nelson was running the same tyres, and so Prost is now favourite to win the World Championship. If he can hold on, I don't remember that Prost has already changed tyres quite a long time ago. So Prost now leads the Australian Grand Prix and, at the moment, the World Championship on points. If he can hold on.
And Alain Prost is virtually within sight of his 25th Grand Prix, his second World Championship. An absolutely superb achievement. You have seen the crowd rising to this popular little Frenchman who has demonstrated yet again that he's the driver of the day, and he takes the checkered flag. He wins the Australian Grand Prix. He wins the World Championship of 1986. Absolute euphoria in the McLaren pit, and Keke and Alain Prost stops immediately. I wonder if that means he was so low on fuel that he had to stop. Look at him, he can hardly believe it himself. Alain Prost, the quiet, softly spoken Frenchman, receiving the plaudits of the crowd, and my goodness, they deserve. But let us not forget, in the joy of the occasion for this victory for Alain Prost, the bitter cup of Nigel Mansell, who has had the World Championship dashed from his hands. That's Tim Wright in the glasses, Alain Prost, race engineer. Let us not forget the bitter disappointment for Keke Rosberg, who might well have won the race. And let us too sympathise with Nelson Piquet, who failed to win the World Championship for the third time. Now, that means to say that Alain Prost goes down in history as having won the World Championship 2 years in succession.
I believe, it's fantastic. I knew that it was possible. I was always confident. I was confident about my car, about my team. They've done a fantastic job, but I knew that I need luck, a little bit of luck to win this championship, and I had some luck today. So it's really fantastic. But that's my luck. I'm very sorry for them, for Keke, because he has done a fantastic race, especially the beginning, and very, very hard first lap. It was fantastic, and I knew that he could help me, so I was very confident. I was very pleased that he was leading the race, and also I'm very sorry for Nigel, because I know how it is to lose the championship as the last race, and I'm very, very sorry for him. It must be very hard.